Greetings, Montaisa here and welcome to this video. I'm going here using this scout loadout with Backscatter as a primary, the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol as the secondary, and as the melee weapon it will be the Rap Assassin. This was initially planned to be the worst loadout for scouting that, but I decided I can do much worse than this. Well, reason why this is not the worst, some of them will come in the next video when I go over the loadout I actually came up with. But really, the reason we can look at what makes a good loadout and what makes a bad loadout. In a good loadout, the weapons will work well together. Whether they complement each other and allows you to do different things, or if they help you focus on one strength more, or maybe they allow you to make some fancy combo. Exactly which ones are worth I will, of course, depend, but generally a good loadout will do one of those things. While a bad loadout, well, just bad weapons can make it bad, but to make it really bad, then you have if you have weapons that actually work against each other, then it becomes really bad. One example there would be the buffalo steak sandwich and the gloves of running urgently. They do not work well together, so loadouts like that are prime contenders to being the worst. Now, this specific loadout, the weapons do work reasonably well together. The Rap Assassins provide one, but the Backscatter and Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol, regardless what you think about them individually, they do work well together the same way the stock scattergun and stock pistol does. After all, there are reasonable similarity between weapons. After all, the Backscatter it is a scattergun, the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol it is a pistol, and they perform the basic functions reasonably well. But let's talk a bit more closely about these weapons. They are a bit underappreciated, I think. So they actually turned out to be pretty fun to use, so let's talk about them, shall we? Well, the Backscatter here is our primary weapon. It's a scattergun. Duh! And it will deal mini crits when you attack the enemy from behind, provided you are not too far away. And mini crits, they are pretty useful. Deal extra damage, doesn't suffer from damage fall off, and yeah, it's a pretty nice thing to have. It will allow you to one-shot low health classes, like the snipers in the intro. You may have noticed that. And against enemies that you don't one-shot, you are still going to deal more damage, and while against some you may need to use the same amount of shots, but they may be injured or maybe other enemies, and really you need to finish off with secondary. You won't need as many shots with it, hopefully. So mini crits are pretty darn useful sometimes. Obviously, as you are dealing mini crits, you will have some drawbacks with the weapon. There is a weapon with only upsides is something that you don't see that often. But still, technically, the third degree doesn't have any downside outside from not being the power jack or home wrecker, but apart from things like that, you will have downsides. First one, reduce clip size. 4 shots instead of 6. Now, all the alternative scout primaries have reduced clip size compared to the stock scattergun, so it's hardly unique in this regard. But really, it's a thing. Less shots, the more you need to reload, that's generally not ideal. Now, if you get behind them and actually deal mini crits, the shots you have will deal more damage, but it's still that. Now, the second drawback is no random critical hits. Well, technically it's a drawback, but it's not really one that need to worry too much about, while yeah, you're not getting those nice random crits every now and then, but the thing is, random crits is something that you should never rely on getting. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. With this weapon you can never get them, but unlike the Cow Mangler, at least you can be crit boosted. It won't happen that often because you're a scout, and so, but yeah, it is there. It is a downside, but not a big one. What is a big one, however, is the bullet spread. It's far more inaccurate than the other scatter guns. The pellets will go all the way. So at close range it will be pretty much the same, but as the distance increases, the damage you deal will rapidly decrease compared to the other scatter guns, while all scatter guns are primarily close combat weapons. With the backscatter compared to the stock, yeah, you really want to be really close again to the enemy before you fire this thing, preferably behind them, so you actually get the mini crit. And yeah, most of the time stock scatter gun is going to be much more reliable if it's a stock weapon then. But one thing that really big downside here for, which is not a given downside for the backscatter, but what I think may be one of the big ones, the existence of the Criticola. A secondary that you drink it, you will move faster, deal mini crits, regardless of whether the enemy is actually looking at you or not. Yeah, if you want to deal mini crits, that's probably going to be a better option most of the time, so since you can still maintain a more reliable primary than the backscatter. But backscatter, it is pretty fun, so I would still recommend using it. And as for the secondary, the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. It heals you on hit, plus 5 health. Yay! When it's active, it will prevent you from taking fall damage. Yay! Although as a scout, you can double jump, and generally, if you're falling down and risk taking from a large height, and the way you generally want to prevent fall damage is by double jumping before you land, so you won't take the fall damage. But something. The downside is that it fires slower, so in an extended firefight it will not. It really does show. In a quick firefight it won't really be that noticeable because it still fires reasonably fast, and in a quick firefight you will fire off the bullets pretty rapidly, and you won't really notice the firing speed difference that much. But it also has increased damage vulnerability, so while it's active you will take more damage, which can get you killed sometime. Now with the health gain while shooting, it may initially one might think it's something like the Medic's Blutsauger, and you would be very wrong. The Blutsauger, it's a weapon that helps you keep yourself alive during a fight. You're firing tons of syringes, you will get back health, and then between the fights your passive healing will be slower, but during the fight it has no real drawback. Apart from being a syringe gun and you are playing a medic and you're not really well equipped for a fight, but apart from that. While the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol, due to the damage vulnerability, if you're trying to use it like the Blutsauger, you will probably get yourself killed because you will take more damage, and the healing won't really make up for that. However, if you use it more like you would the ordinary pistol, you finish off weakened enemies, maybe harass them enemies a bit from range. It actually not that bad. If you're slightly injured, you can fire, and it's safe enough, you can fire some distant enemies at top of your health without having to go to a health pack. And in a fight, let's assume you fight an enemy and you fire a shot with a scatter gun and then you finish him off with 5 shots from your pistol. Now with Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol you will have regained 25 health. Let's say you have taken a little bit of health and you had 100 health. Now, thanks to using the Pocket Pistol to finish the enemy off, you now have full health. Full health and no need to run for a health pack. That's pretty great. Of course, sometimes you may be more injured, so let's say you have 25 health left. Killing them with the 5 shots bring you up to 50 health. And well, you are still going to want to run to a health pack, but let's assume there's a soldier somewhere in the distance firing a rocket in the general direction. It lands close enough that you take 40 damage. Well, if you didn't have the pocket pistol, you would be dead because you would only have had 25 health left, and 40 is a larger number than 25. But as you used the pocket pistol, your health was 50, and you did put it away, certainly. Even though with 40 health the extra damage will be enough to kill you, but if it's not active, you take 40 health and you have 10 health left, you need to run to a health pack, but you are alive so you can run to the health pack. So as long as you don't give it out too much, it's actually not that bad as a secondary. Now the stock pistol doesn't have the damage vulnerability, and you also have other options if the winger for extra jumping, critical if you want to deal mini crits. Critical is would not be a good fit to really this loadout because you can get the mini crits with the backscatter anyway, so you would be better off with another scatter gun. But yeah, you do have other options as a scout, and they may be better depending on the situation. But the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol, it's not that bad. But let's go to a weapon that maybe is that bad. Talking about the choice for melee weapon, the Rap Assassin. It doesn't deal that much damage, so as a melee weapon it's not that good. The Fan of War actually deals less damage, but it also marks enemies for death. And what is the upside you get from depriving yourself from a melee weapon? And as a scout, well, you generally don't want to use your melee weapon because your scatter gun is pretty damn powerful. Occasionally there were maybe situations where you want to pull out your melee weapon and bash someone's head in, which you can't do with the Rap Assassin. What you do have is a ball. You can right click and fire the ball, and it will deal some damage and add some bleed damage as well to the enemy. Yeah, not really that useful, but it can be used as a training tool if you plan to use the Sandman and you are not confident in your aim. Well, you can use the Rap Assassin as a training tool. You just fire the balls until you feel you are getting the hang of the way they move, and then you can switch to the Sandman. So yeah, it can be used as a training tool, and you don't have to, after all, if you use the Sandman you have 15 less health. Rap Assassin, you don't have a health penalty, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, it's actually worse than the Rap Assassin is generally worse than the Sun on a Stick. The Sun on a Stick can actually keep you alive to situations where you're running to a health pack on fire. So yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.